All right, folks, I'm going to be reviewing a 2v2 Champ 2 game submitted by Noopler. And Noopler writes, I feel that my defensive rotations are a bit off half of the time, and I end up bunched up with my teammate without being aware of it at all. I'm just wondering how I could prevent those things from happening and how I would improve on creating more outplays against the opponents. So really, that's a great kind of introduction to this replay. We're going to be focusing on defensive rotations, how to avoid messing up his teammate, and specifically the point where he says, he's not aware of it. So it seems like Noopler's aware that you want to stay out of your teammates' way, and give them their own space. So kind of map awareness, game sense is something that we want to be focused on this replay. So what I like to do is, we just watch it through in real time, and I'll write down some, specific moments or interactions that I notice where maybe we can do something different to give our team a better chance of, reaching a positive outcome, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and kick it off. So I think you could actually pressure sooner there, just because it looked like your teammate would have the back post rotation already, so you were freed up as first man to go and make that challenge, perhaps a bit sooner than you did. Nice half flip. Your teammate kind of put it in a no man's land sort of space there, where you weren't sure. You didn't want to dive in, so you made the right choice of not going for that ball, because if you and their last man go for it and you lose, then they have a really good opportunity to score. Alright, your teammate, when they messed up, they looked like they both kind of went for the ball there. You're going to want to figure out how to clear the ball off of the backboard, which is tough. That's a pretty advanced skill to develop. So we'll take a look at that later. Alright, good patience. You recognize that your teammate was still following the ball there. Nice, solid back post rotation. You're not, doing any unnecessary movement like driving in circles or stuff like that. So this is all good as far as I'm concerned. What are we seeing? Maybe as far as, when you mentioned you want to find more ways to outplay the opponents, if you work on how quickly you can get control of the ball in a dribble on top of your car, the faster you can flick the ball. And a flick is kind of one of the simplest ways of just getting it past one person. Good wave dash from the wall. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing overall so far. Kind of dove in a little bit there. So, when you're last man, and in twos, that means, just second man, you got to be really careful about diving in the opponent's corner, because if you miss, like we saw, it's very likely to lead into a goal. Oh, good double tap opportunity. Is your teammate there? Cross your fingers. Let's go. Nice one. We'll just take another look at that as well to show off. good awareness that you can reach the ball first. So I agree with your decision to go for that one, just based on where everybody ended up. You jumped a bit early there, but we'll take another look once the game's done. A good aggression. Now, can you finish close? So oh, nice, nice. Okay, still got it, still got it. Ideally, your teammate would have been able to be there to just make it an easy one for you, but good job finishing the job yourself. I don't think he needed to jump there. That demo wasn't very threatening. He didn't seem to actually be locking in on you. Your teammate AFK looks like it, so that definitely makes things tough. Good job following the ball, that was decent. Okay. Game. Alright, so let's go ahead and just bring things back. I've got, looks like 6 moments that I want to cover. Just things stuck out to me. You know, there's always like a million different things you can do better in a game of Rocket League just because, you know, with rotations and everything, you know, but it's best, you know, when you're just on that improvement grind set to just try to focus on a few things at once. You know, you don't want to focus on dozens of things to improve upon at the same time. You know, just pick out, you know, maybe 2 to 4 things you want to work on at once, maybe even 1 to 3. And, you know, just build those up a few notches and then, you know, you can move on to another thing. But here, what I wanted to point out is just kind of, you want to be able to hit those balls off of the backboard, and you want to be able to do that in kind of one smooth motion. So what's helped me is, this might be a little silly, but what's helped me is kind of visualizing the flight path that I want my cart to take. So, you know, they kind of get in each other's way, and as this ball goes up the wall, so you pick up the full boost, which you didn't really need to do because you had like 90, 98, 99 boosts or something. So one thing that would help is recognizing that you have enough boost to clear this ball. Definitely, you don't need that full boost in the corner. And then you kind of drove too far towards the goal. So like, even after you get full boost, okay, this is fine. This is fine, but I would turn up the wall a bit sooner than you actually did. So, and then you circled fine. Right here you could jump, and then you just kind of don't go for it, which isn't the worst thing because he didn't go for it either. You definitely could have still turned that into a 50, but it looks like you did a diagonal flip. Let's watch it all again. So imagine if you had driven just straight up the backboard. It makes it a lot simpler for you because you won't have to worry about the precise timings on your turns on the wall, and you would just be able to jump, do a half air roll, put yourself upright, and then you can just do a regular front flip to get a strong clear off your backboard. So one thing that I do to help me with this is in free play, just dribble the ball, just point it right at one of the walls, and practice getting separation from the wall and the ball. Like so, drive up and then jump off, get that air roll, and flip. And that'll make things a lot easier for you, and you'll get the hang of it for sure. Right, and the next thing I pointed out is at 225-ish, you kind of give the ball away. Let's... See, it doesn't look like you had too much of a plan with this ball. You're very clearly going to hit it over the battle bus. So what you can do in these scenarios is instead of hitting it with the nose of your car, if you tilt your car back and catch it with the belly or ideally one of your tires, that'll give the ball a really soft touch, and then you just complete the backflip and you have the ball in front of you, and you can maybe go into a 50 against Donkey Hottie instead of them just getting a free ball to do with what they wish. So I'm a big proponent of learning the soft touches. Oh, and then here you throw yourself into their corner, and it leads directly to a concession. So well played by the battle bus. Your teammate kind of gave it away to him as well. If you notice, he doesn't even get a 50. That touch puts it too far away from him, and it doesn't look like he had enough boost to actually stay behind the ball. And then you, as second man, made the fatal mistake that leads directly to the goal. So once, right here, you just kind of were lured in by the ball, like a moth to a flame. So you got to be really aware of, your role as second man. As second man, your role isn't to score or, touch the ball. Your role as second man is to not get scored on. So just keep, that's some awareness you can build. Have a greater sense of danger when you're that second man. And then you do score here, good job. Alright, 128. Okay, yeah, so this one looks like just a little bit of panic. You're worried. You're hustling back. So I think really the decision to jump here for this ball early is kind of what led to the cascade of events that leads to this goal. So you didn't... Let's see. All right, so right here, you see this 50. Your teammate and one of your opponents are high up in the air after that 50. The ball's going towards you. The other opponent is way back near their goal line. So you actually have a lot of time with this ball. So you didn't need to jump for this ball this early. Going into the challenge, you can tell that it's not going to be a direct goal. It's pretty clearly going to be on the backboard here. So what you could do instead is drive towards your back corner boost and then take it there. So what am I trying to point out here? Let's look at play. So the ball goes here and then and it would rebound out to about here, and you kind of took a flight path. Well, you'll be yellow, and you kind of jumped up here this way. What you could have done instead is just maybe pick up a full boost and then come around and hit the ball this way. So the awareness to build on there is that you didn't have to jump when you did. You had enough time to let that ball rebound off the backboard, and then you could wait for it to bounce off the ground, and that gives you a chance for a power clear to gain a lot of space at once. So, You probably could have reached that ball with your 16 boost and a double jump, but I think the main lesson here is that you didn't even need to be in that situation in the first place. And I think here you had an opportunity to chase for a demo and get kind of a free ball. So yeah, right here your teammate takes it really slow. The other opponent didn't do a good job at getting back. So if I were in your shoes here, you don't have enough boost to go for this demo. So that might have been part of the issue, but so pick up those pads. You always want to have as much boost as possible, of course, because you know boost gives you options. And even so, you can always like try to, you know, use wave dashes and flips to gain supersonic speed as well for a demo. And you don't even have to blow a goalie up to make it valuable. It can always, you know, you just need to bump them or even threaten a bump, and it'll work. What am I looking for here? Oh, right. So that demo didn't look particularly threatening. What you could have pressured early. Teammate. So I think what would have been better is to actually do nothing for a little bit longer. I would have turned into the goal a little bit just to make it. Keeping your wheels on the ground and cutting into the goal a little bit is not as bad as jumping and leaving the ground to avoid that demo. So if you had just turned left a little bit but stayed on the ground here instead of jumping, I think you would have had a better angle to block that shot. And you know, you either cleared out to the center or ideally one of your corners. So I don't think that demo was as threatening as so much as to deserve like a jump to try to dodge that. But good job overall. Nice reviewing this replay. I didn't notice, you know, too many front post rotations or anything like that. Rotating back post is definitely, you know, super duper critical. And keep doing what you're doing. All right, take care.